Hello, parents. Today is our second day of this workshop. This workshop is specially designed for parents to teach them the basic skills that they would need to know to help teach their toddlers and preschoolers at home. We are here to empower parents in this COVID-19 time. We cannot work right now. School is closed, but we still want to meet our children. And by meeting our children, we have to meet the parents. So we're here to give the parents some few tips so that they can put it into practice and help our little ones at home. So today's lesson, we will talk about a child's needs. Yesterday we talked about a child's growth and development. Today we will move on to the child's needs. We know that parents, adults, children, we all have needs, and we will look into that today. We know that adults and children have needs. Some of our children's needs are food, water, shelter, clothing, protection, love, comfort, rules. These are just a few. Children depend on adults to meet their basic needs, and by receiving food, water, shelter, love, and protection, it builds relationship. That child becomes confident and will grow to meet his or her potential. Let's look and examine families and their environments. We know we have a few types of families. We have nuclear family, single parent family, we have extended family, sibling family. These are just a few. And our children are placed in these families. Now, we know a child is most influenced by their family. Yes, a child is most influenced by their family because the family is a child's primary social group. A family is responsible for shaping a child and developing their values, skills, socialization, and security. Remember, we discussed that children 0 to 8 years old are especially affected by the environment and the people around them. Let's look at some positive home environment and families. Some positive home environment and families can be a home that plays good music, parents that don't yell or squeal or fight in front of their children, a family that attends to the child's needs. These are just a few. We also have a family that provides food, clothing, care, and love, a home that have rules that will help the child to develop and grow to the highest potential. A family that gives the child the opportunity to express his or herself. A family that speaks in the right tone of voice. These are just a few examples of a good family, safe environment for a child. Now let us examine a negative environment, or we can say a negative home environment. Some of these examples that I have here is just a few, but you can research some more. A home that is dirty and smelly. A family that leaves a child unprotected. A family that have no rules or regulation and always yelling. A family that never attends to the child in a positive way. A family that attends to the child's need. A family that provides food, water, shelter, and clothing. A home that have rules that will help the child grow and develop to the highest potential. A family that gives the child the opportunity to speak and to express him or herself. A family that speaks in the right tone of voice. These are just a few qualities of a positive home environment. Let's examine and look at some negative environment, or we can say home and family. Well, it's all the opposite of the positive environment, but we will go through few and I would like you to research some others on your own. A home that is dirty and untidy. A family that leaves a child unprotected. A family that have no rules or regulations and always yelling at the child. A family that never attend to the child in a positive way. A family that use indecent languages in front of the child. A family that forces a child to become an adult. These are just a few. These are only a few, but there are much more. So the environment speaks a lot. The environment that our children are in, it says a lot. Our children are molded by the environment they are in. So we just examine two types of homes and environment and how it affects our children. We know that small children love to repeat and imitate their parents, family members, guardians, nanny, caregivers, anybody that is with them most of the time, right? At home. For example, a child sees mommy using the lip gloss and putting on the lipstick, that child will want to do the same thing. If the child sees mommy going to the bathroom and using a particular towel, that child will want to do the same thing too. The child see and hear mommy and daddy fighting all the time and squealing at each other, that child will have anger in them. That child will have bad relationship when that child grows up. That child will have poor overall adjustment at school. That child will be aggressive. All these are emotional abuse. So we have to be careful on the environment that we have with where our children are daily. We know that our children, whatever they see, that is what they will do. Our children 0 to 8, yes. If a child see, for example, the child see daddy goes to work every day, and let's pretend that daddy is a firefighter. That child will want to pretend to be a firefighter, or even say, I want to, when I grow up, I want to be just like my daddy, or I want to be just like my mommy, because that child sees, and because the child sees, the child wants to do the same thing. So that's how our environment affects our children. So we want to create that positive environment. So we examine a negative environment, we examine positive environment. Now you may ask yourself, how can I create an environment in my home that will stimulate and create a positive outcome? Well, we will go through that. But before we go through that, let's examine the school environment. We discussed positive home environment and negative home environment. Let's look and examine the school environment. And we know our environment influences our children. In a school setting, you have the teachers and you have the children. You have the guard and you have the sellers. The teachers, they speak well. The teachers work with time. The teachers have rules. The teacher work with routine or rooster. You know, this is just a few, but there's a lot more. We know that the school have a setting where there's tables and chairs. In the classroom, there are learning materials. So we know that the school setting is conducive for learning, and the environment is all set and prepared so the child, when a child is there, the child will grow and develop to the best, right? So we know that's what the school provides. Now, there are also negative, it can promote a negative way as well, because sometimes you might have teachers that would show harsh punishment. Sometimes they might be favoritism going on. Sometimes the teacher might be kind to one child and not kind to the other child. These are just a few. So we want to put the two together. We want to see how we can put in, because if you look at it, you see that the school environment sends out a positive outcome where the children is a learning environment that is set up for the child to learn. So we want to incorporate it and put it in a little in our home. So in the next video, we want to incorporate a little of the school environment and a little of the positive in home environment. We want to put it together so we can create an environment that is conducive for learning, that is safe, that is influential to our children. We want to incorporate everything, put a little in so that we can have this environment in our home. So we will examine ourselves and we would put it together. So in the next video, that's what we will do. So today we talk about, what do we talk about? Remember the question will be posted in the group, on the WhatsApp group. So I want you to answer every question and send it to me so that I can check it. And don't so we will continue the video shortly with how we're gonna incorporate it too. So, if we ask ourselves a question like, I have it here. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. Why would my child learn faster at school than at home? Now, we're going to work on that today. Now, the first thing I would advise you to do is use this school structure. Now let's look in the classroom. There's always chairs and table. Now in your home, you need to set aside that little piece of classroom for your child. So in a area in your home, I want you to set aside a special area for your child where you can put a table and where you can have two chairs, one for you and one for that child. So because we want to incorporate, we want to ensure our home is set and prepped and ready for the child to learn and develop to meet their highest potential. So follow along with me. So, if we ask ourselves a question like, I have it here. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. Why would my child learn faster at school than at home? Now we're going to work on that today. Now, the first thing I would advise you to do is use this school structure. Now let's look in the classroom. There's always chairs and table. Now in your home, you need to set aside that little piece of classroom for your child. So in an area in your home, I want you to set aside a special area for your child where you can put a table and where you can have two chairs, one for you and one for that child. So because we want to incorporate, we want to ensure our home is set and prepped and ready for the child to learn and develop to meet their highest potential. So follow along with me.